Usually playing Xbox in the background. Just
If we don't start the stream, I might shoot myself in the face.
That's harsh.
That is a little harsh, actually.
I'll chat about the channel. Be all good things. Why did it
All right.
take so long?
Well, we'll see if it goes up.
Advertisement.
That is not what's going on in the world.
It's supposed
Gee.
to be
It's supposed to be out, but that's
It's
It'll
on an
start an
advertisement.
ad first.
Yeah, it's stuck on an ad.
That's okay.
Oh,
wow.
hey, look, I can see myself.
You look great,
That's
Joel.
old.
I know.
That's the premise.
You
Well,
got like a
My camera was not working, so I'm on my laptop camera, and I'm not happy. But what are you gonna do besides complain?
Yeah, it appears
There
to
is
be.
a very long delay.
That's okay.
That's right. Hey, we get part of the table in
We
this
can
shot. It
also
looks
still
like.
see the couch and
All
we can
right.
see
Now,
the
is
cloud.
the audio coming through okay to start out?
Kelsey?
Is your TV muted?
Yes.
Okay.
I didn't want it like going
Yeah.
through everything.
Echo.
Kelsey will listen in a minute.
Go ahead and test it.
There's
She's
an
waiting
ad.
for the ad.
It's a really long ad.
Okay. To start out.
I'm gonna roll some dice.
Is your TV muted? Yeah, we're good. Okay. Well,
Awesome. It's
Stop
alive.
touching my
here we
dice.
I
finally
wanted
go.
to see how the dice rolling sounded.
That's way too
It would be
delayed.
great if people
It's
were
coming
just
up
sitting
right
on the
now.
edges of their seats waiting for us to start this whole endeavor, but I really hope that no one stuck
See, look,
around
I'm
for
rolling
that.
dice.
Don't worry, no one did.
No one stuck around. That's good. Good for them.
Sure you.
All
All right. So we're gonna get started.
All right.
Yay!
Let's go around
Adventures
and
on.
just introduce your characters real quick so that everyone kind of knows what we're getting in for, and then I'll set the scene and we'll get going. So, Daniel, who are you playing today?
So I'm playing Heath, a mighty mountain dwarf, who's trying to get over the past, but
Whatever.
yeah, he's a ranger and he's pretty great.
So you got Heath, the mountain dwarf ranger, which will be interesting.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good concept.
He's
I
great.
like it.
He's light-footed for a stout fellow.
He's light-footed.
He's a light-footed mini mountain.
Yeah. Exactly.
All right, Andrew, who are we playing?
Alright, so I am playing Beerus Silamir. I'm a wood elf druid from the mainlands. Came over to these islands because the mainland village was destroyed and I was looking for a fresh start. He's light-footed because he's light.
All right.
Well, I don't
Sounds
know
good.
about that. How heavy are you?
Like 95 pounds or something. I'm pretty light.
You're amazing.
Oh,
Eat
lightweight,
some
yeah.
food.
He's a wood
Something
elf.
like that.
He's
I
a,
don't
he's a
know.
twig.
You need to eat some food, man.
One with the
Sorry, 165.
Oh, that's better. Much better. Okay.
I think I was looking at
I'm
the
not
wrong
as
character.
scared. I thought you were anorexic for a second.
95 kilos?
Kilos.
All right.
Alright, giggles.
Amber, who are we
Alright.
playing?
I am Willowshade. I am a female tabaxi. And I like learning things. I'm very interested in knowledge. And I don't mind taking things if it means that I can learn from them. And I'll give them back later. I just wanna know. I wanna know things. I need to know all of the things.
All right. Here we go.
All right.
So, the scene is set at one of our cities. If you've been able to check out the map, you might have recognized Newport, the largest capital city in the Aman Islands. And that is where our scene is set, at the appropriately named Storydstein Inn at Newport. So, you've all decided to stop at this. It's sort of a mediocre type tavern. Not too great, but you know, the ale's not too expensive either, so that's kind of nice.
Mm-hmm.
So you all happen to find yourselves in here after a hard day's work and just throwing back and getting a quick drink. You guys don't know each other to start out, so you guys are perfect strangers at this time. I don't want to force you guys into anything. So, what's our dwarf doing at the bar?
So he's probably on his 5th pint. He's a heavy drinker, but he can take it. Just enjoying himself.
And our druid, what business do you have in the tavern tonight?
Just kind of stopping through, chilling by the fire, or roasting by the fire.
Yeah, aren't you like
I don't want to chill by the fire.
chill some, like, leaf clothes or something
Leaf
like that?
clothes.
Just
Oh,
one leaf.
Very
that's
flammable.
it.
his skirt catches on fire.
And our Tabaxi Catwoman, to most everyone else who sees you, having drawn not a little amount of attention, what are you doing in the tavern tonight?
I'm trying to talk to as many people as possible to see what's going on and what they have to tell me. I'm going around going like, do you have any interesting stories? Do you have any interesting stories? Tell me a story.
There are a couple of patrons that have interesting stories. The place is moderately filled, I suppose. There's a couple of empty chairs, but they're few and far between. The place holds 25, 30 people. It's not big. It's a little bit cramped, but it's cozy. You have just a couple of the workers meandering between the tables, getting orders, refilling people's drinks, things like that. And then you have the barkeep, who is just barely poking over the bar. He's a little gnome. He's just sitting at the bar, just barely poking over, just to keep an eye on everything and handle the exchanges of money and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
There are a couple interesting Willow, right?
Mhm.
Willow. Well, there are a couple of interesting patrons that have some really interesting stories. One is going off. It starts to tell you in their drunken little spiel about this crazy old man who lives out in Glenwood who lost his nephew, but he never had a nephew. He's just this crazy old guy. But he is offering up a little bit of a reward for anyone who finds his non-existent nephew, who is ironically named Hayland, while the man's name is also Hayland, which doesn't exactly lead credence to his story.
I'm gonna leave him and find someone else.
All right. Another having brushed that story off a little bit.
I go, okay.
There's another interesting patron, a little bit gloomier than the drunk man who rambled off about this crazy old guy in Glenwood, who begins to tell you his stories about being a guard during the times of the orc expansions, and they had to go and they had to slay the orcs and drive them off the land, and you get to enjoy your freedoms today because they fought for it. They fought long and hard for it, and he walks with a little bit of a limp, and he's probably was injured in this battle. So it's picked up another interesting story as well.
I like the battle stories, but his this is why you're free thing kind of puts me a little bit off. I'm gonna slowly back off and find someone else.
By the time you guys have just been enjoying your drink and sitting by the fire, just chilling, collecting your stories, the barkeep has made it around. Oh, so I haven't made it over here. Sorry, we're a little bit packed today. Did you need anything else? Can I get you another drink? Refill anything for you?
Hey, so do you think that I could get a discount since, we're kind of, we're basically cousins pretty much.
I might be more plucked from the very ground as shiny gems.
And we were born under the ground, in the mountains and stuff, so.
I have to admit I'm not very familiar on the lore. But, sorry. Can't really afford to be giving out free drinks. I like you.
Oh my goodness.
But I like money.
Well, let me tell you, back where you came from, there was so much money and gold.
The lore of the
and
origin
jewels.
of who?
Of gnomes.
Would I know that?
Not
From
necessarily.
the elf people?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
Sorry.
Oh yeah, but it was a great grand sight. You would have liked it.
Yes, I've heard the stories. The great city in the frozen south. Am I not mistaken?
Yes.
I'm gonna zip over and be like,
Yes.
As you
I
pop
still.
up. Oh, hello.
Yes, I still
Keep going.
carry a piece of a banner that used to fly in the mighty halls of Thrasis.
Well, it's not every day you see one of those. That's fascinating and in fairly
"It's
good
the
condition,
Hall of
albeit.
Thrasis."
Oh, it was the most grand, splendid sight you ever saw. It was like 200 feet high if it was a foot, It was just this
Who made
amazing
it?
hall.
I'll be
Many
back.
peoples.
Then it walks off.
Let's go on there, gnome. It was built by my people, mighty dwarves.
How long did it take? What did you use?
It's a good question. I'm more familiar with... Well,
Was there any magic used? What was it for?
the magic I'm not so well versed on. I'm more of a stone,
Oh, okay. What kind of
versed
stone?
in stones. Oh, a lot of wonderful stones. Dark stones, light stones, hard stones, softer stones. We used a lot of stones. It was a lot of hard work.
Oh, okay. What was it used for?
Another dwarf who happens to overhear goes, let me tell you about the construction. He's
Yes.
older. He's got the wrinkled, the tan lines, the crazy white beard. All at one point it was probably neatly braided, but it's a little bit less neatly braided at this point in the evening. He's like,
Here,
We
friend,
had
you
one
got
of the
some crumbs on your beard. There we go.
Had one of the greatest cities that was ever seen. Jewel encrusted towers. It's not like our people to set up in such frigid climates, but we couldn't deny the vast amounts of treasure to be found. And we did. We found it.
How much?
More than you've ever seen.
That's
No
not a
offense.
quantity.
It's hard to quantify.
Oh, okay.
It was
What
a
was it?
lot.
What-
Treasure hoards.
So it was just a big safe for treasure.
The entire city was a safe
Oh, it was
for
a
treasure.
safe. Okay.
Yes, it was huge.
Well, he was talking about a hall, so.
Yes, the hall. It was the grand hall in the city.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Most of our most treasured
My tail's like
possessions.
twitching.
were stored in the hall's vaults. But all that was destroyed. What was it?
What happened?
It looks like 50 years ago. It must have been back.
Oh, I'm pretty sure it was, yes.
Yeah.
50 years.
And he looks over at the elf right around the time that these lots, not that I blame you directly, per se. It was about the time that those lot, he points over towards you.
How far
Started-
away are we from this
Well,
conversation?
the room's only like 30 feet wide, so you're not far.
Oh, okay.
Still warming your leaves by the fire.
You'd be able to overhear. No, they're not trying to keep
It'd be like
secrets.
pointing to me.
What?
It'd be like pointing to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
So, not that I blame them directly, but it did happen about the same time. Driving the orcs out, expanding the land, and the dragon decided to steal our city.
There was a dragon?
Right.
What color was it?
Old, ancient red dragon. And this little lizard men army. Don't even know what they were. I've never seen them
How
before.
big was he? Did he fly? Did he
Of course
breathe
he flew.
fire? What color
Of course.
fire?
Orange.
Oh, okay.
Red? Fire.
Okay. I didn't know if it maybe was magic fire. How do I know these things?
I'm pretty
I'm
sure
asking.
magic
That's why
fire
I'm
is still
asking.
fire. But in any case, yeah. Drove us out. You hold on to that piece.
Yes, I will. I cherish it. Keep it with me always.
Could I just see it?
No.
I just want to look at it.
All right, but you look with your eyes, not with your paws.
Okay. I wanna try and perceive things about it.
Mm.
Just anything.
Hands you a gold coin here. Have one on an old friend.
Thank you, Master Dwarf.
Heads back up,
Master Dwarf.
waving up his empty mug. Hey, wait for this! And he just wanders off towards the
I
bar.
have a 12. What do I learn about this thing by looking at
The piece that he has in
Yeah.
the hall.
it? Yeah.
You don't know a whole lot about the lore, so I mean you can't recall a whole lot more than nothing. So it definitely it's a crested banner that like you would see in any other hall, except it none of these symbols are in any other towns, any other cities.
I'm gonna make a point to remember the symbols and the little like crest on.
Gotcha. So the symbol, from what you can make out, it's kind of like a rectangular piece where you would attach, but it's been kind of torn diagonally there. So you only about half the symbols there. It's very simple. It's basically just a pickaxe driving down into a dragon. It's a very very ornately
Well,
set up
maybe
and
that's
woven,
why the
but-
dragon attacked the place.
Well, it's no secret that dwarves and dragons have problems.
To put it
One-
mildly.
One digs up gold, the other one steals it.
Okay, but I'm gonna try and I'm gonna memorize all those things and be like, okay, I got it.
All right.
Thank you. That was
You're
very
welcome.
nice. Do you have anything other to tell me? Do you have any other stories? Or is that your only story?
Yeah, that's the main story. Pretty much my people
I
had
really don't want to hear about a missing nephew that's not real. Just groundwork here.
The missing imaginary nephew?
Yeah, that
know,
dude
that
over there
sounds
has
like
a
a
missing
fine quest.
imaginary nephew with the same name as him, so don't talk to him.
Yep, our peoples, driven from the wondrous halls and treasures of
What are you doing
Therisis.
here?
Well, I'm just kind of, out on a little trip, I suppose. My main duties are in the dwarven city of Onyx Reach.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a
Where's
wonderful
that?
place. Oh, it's around.
Can you like draw it for me?
Not really. I kind of jumped on a wagon and told them to bring me here.
Oh.
So
That's not helpful.
can't really say. I'm sure there's probably someone around.
Is Onyx Reach
the
an
bar who
interesting
knows.
place?
Oh yes, it's the
Can
shining.
I learn a lot of things there?
Oh yes. It's pretty much the core of dwarven culture and
Ooh.
it's the main home of our peoples.
Ooh.
After
I
we're
wanna go
driven from
there.
our actual home.
I wanna go there.
By about this time, the bartenders made it over back around to you. I forget your character name. Virus, sitting by the fire. He says, "Pardon, you seem to be quite enjoying yourself. Can I get you anything at all?
Just a water, please.
A water? Fair enough. I just want. I'll fetch that immediately.
Hold on. What's this I hear about only drinking water?
That we all kind of know.
What's wrong with the water? I like water.
So, and on his way back, he'll stop at you guys again. Is now a good time? Can I get you anything?
Where's Onyx Reach?
Oh, Onyx Reach is just on the other side of the island. Just go south. It'll take you. If you can't find a caravan, it'll take you a couple of weeks, maybe on foot.
Do you have a map?
No, I don't. But
Can you
I'm
draw
sure.
a map?
I'm capable, but I'm sure it wouldn't be as useful to you as finding a cartographer. This city's got many of them. You should be able to find one, no problem.
Okay, take me to the Can you show me to the cartographer? You don't have to take me.
Well, there's that new troop in town. There's some strange name. It's better if it's spelled, I believe. But I believe they call themselves Intense. I believe they just rolled into town. They just came up from Onyx Reach. You might be able to find what you need from them.
Okay, thanks.
You can find them in the square. It's just outside here. Go across a couple of streets. You can't miss it. It's just big open space.
Okay, I'm gonna turn around and walk out.
Very well. Wait! You haven't paid for your drinks.
Oh, okay. Okay. How am I?
No
how
worries,
much
curious one. This one's on me.
You're so
All right.
nice.
Fair enough. Well enough.
Do you want to come with me and pay for all my drinks?
No.
Oh, okay.
Well, that'll be your drink so far for that one. Just one gold piece should cover it.
Fair enough.
As you reach for your bag, you realize you have no gold bag.
You're on your own.
At this minute, you hear someone else from across the bar go, "Hey, who stole my gold?" And they're throwing. You hear plates and cups and
I'm gonna
mugs
immediately
being
check for
tossed
my gold
down.
bag.
Also missing. I rolled really high. Sorry, guys.
What? Hang on, I'm gonna check my gold bag.
Also missing.
What?
I'm gonna start looking around the
Who
room.
dares steal from a dwarf?
I'm gonna I'm gonna frantically look around the room for something.
At that moment, you see towards the back door where it leads to the storage rooms and
Oh, I
cellars and
have
things
to
like
look
that, a hooded figure has knocked over a barmaid, totally flattened her out. Looks back up, totally terrified, and pulls the hood and starts screaming through the back room.
I'm gonna run after him.
All right,
I
you
will
can chase.
also
Let's go.
You and a gaggle of others who also lost. I'm not chasing this poor sap who rolled a 1. As you break through, trying to push your way through the crowd, you can choose. You can do strength. You're going to push through the crowd, or you can choose dexterity to try and weave your way through the crowd to see how fast you can get to that door.
I'll do dexterity.
All right, dexterity for you.
One. That's a great way to start.
Dexterity.
You're doing strength for brute forcing your way through, or dexterity for picking
So-
your way through the crowd.
12.
I'm gonna try to use my dwarfish agility to jump on the shoulders of the people in front of me and crawl over them since I'm above 10. What does that get me?
You're trying to jump and it just
Wait,
doesn't
10 plus whatever your
So like
dexterity is.
13
Two.
if you did strength.
13.
Or,
Okay.
oh,
Well,
yeah,
I mean, they're like way taller than you.
That's true.
Actually, can't he technically... Oh, no, that's gnomes. I was like... And halflings. I was like, can't he technically go through people's legs?
No.
But...
I'm a little too stout for that. I'm pretty wide.
Yeah.
4 foot tall dwarf, which is not a bad height for a dwarf, alright? Feel proud.
Pretty tall, yes.
So, alright, so
Lass.
your
Looking on
name
those
again,
shoulders.
I need to write this down.
There's clearly a loose board in this bar in the floor.
As you're trying to get your way through, you didn't quite see the stout dwarf in front of you. And as you're trying to, it wasn't high enough. So you're trying to push your way through, and the dwarf just pops out of nowhere, trying to jump on top of people. And you ran right into him. Poof. Ah. You stumble over, and as the crowd pushes past you, and the dwarf goes into the crowd, you manage to get your way up a little bit. There's only a couple people in front of you, and you can see the thief, presumed thief. There's no evidence at this point. The presumed thief is no longer in that room, but has continued on down the steps into what is probably the cellar for this place.
How many more people are in front of me?
2. All right. So you're in the crowd, just kind of like the middle of the crowd area there.
I don't have a lot of strength. I don't know that I could push them.
You're all pushing through the door. What do you?
Can I
What's your
try and
response?
jump over them?
You can try.
I want to try and
Athletics.
jump over them.
My response?
No, I do not.
I think we're gonna try to shove through these people now.
That is a
Do
6.
that?
Push through. It appears that people are a little bit hesitant to go down as the cellar is very dark, and they just kind of sort of, well, you go get him. Well, you get him.
I'll go move.
Make way, people. I can actually have good vision in the dark.
The stout dwarf in leather armor with his hammer and axe, so pushing through. Allow a little bit of space for the those who are going to go retrieve their stolen gold. Where are we at, Ferris?
Oh, I'm just gonna kind of stand up, brush myself off, and be like, "This is why I stay in the woods." I'm gonna walk towards it. At this point, there's enough people in front of me. I'm not too concerned about it in any way.
I mean, at this point, there's like 7 or 8 kind of just standard around as the dwarf that you accidentally ran into has made it up to the steps going down, as well as our rogue cat lady there. So you peer down into the cellar, and you can hear those footsteps running, but it's dark. There's no sources of light. How
I
will
do
you
have dark
proceed?
vision also.
You have dark vision. You do.
I do as well. I think.
Oh, you all do.
I think.
Yeah, we all have dark vision.
Yeah.
I should have read your character sheets. That's my fault. All right, it's not dark. It's pretty easy to see down there, actually. As you continue to run down, bursting down through those steps, it opens up into a wide, just completely underneath what must be the exact same floor above, is just the barrels and crates and sacks of wheat and grain and all these things, but no sign of the thief.
And all the walls are solid?
Are you going to examine all the walls to see if they're solid? As far as you can tell, the walls are pretty much just walls. I mean, the whole thing is just lined with storage of crates and just like extra stuff that a tavern needs.
Lady Cat, do you have any ability to use your whiskers to...
I mean, I can try and smell. I don't know what that would be.
Do you have a heightened sense of smell? I'm not too familiar with your kind.
I have feline agility, but that doesn't really help me at this moment in time.
Do you have a feline sixth sense?
No.
A couple of the other patrons have wandered down, But obviously,
gonna
can't see quite as well as you in the dark.
I want to try and like smell them out, but I don't know what I would roll for that.
Oh man, you're investigating with your nose.
Okay.
I would like to, out of
13.
spite, trip somebody who's walking up because I'm angry that they got in my way.
As one of the other townsfolk patrons wanders through, roll a sleight of hand. What'd you get?
16
Oh,
Plus what your sleight of hand is.
you got it.
plus 2. So 18.
So you see when I'm fumbling through, you take quick advantage and stick your foot out and say, I'm like, oh, damn bells. So brushing themselves off. You're back up.
Oh, you have to watch
12.
yourself in the dark
12.
here, friend.
You can tell there's
Sorry, 13.
It's difficult to distinguish one smell from another. It's a tavern. There's lots of people. There's all this stored food and things down there in the cellar. But you can tell there's airflow coming from somewhere in the room. Obviously not from upstairs because
I'm gonna
you're
try
under the
and
ground.
like follow that and find out where that is.
Well, you follow across to some barrels that you didn't notice at first, but have quite clearly been shuffled and moved a little bit. And behind, you can see where some of the brickwork looks a little bit newer than some of the other brickwork that's around. Varys, what is your elf doing?
So I'm noticing it's taking a while for them to bring this guy back up. So I'm gonna walk down the stairs, and noticing that it's dark, I'm gonna do produce flame in my hand, kind of. Even though I can see, I want to brighten it up for everyone.
Oh, you're so nice.
Most of myself, just because I can see better.
With a new source of light, you can see these bricks definitely stand out from the rest behind these barrels. They're very new compared with all the other fairly old brick masonry work. Pushing it doesn't seem to do anything. What is our dwarf doing?
I was kind of taking this all in. The bricks sound interesting.
All right. So noticing her spending a little bit too much time staring behind the barrels.
My tail's just like flicking out.
What did you find back there?
Well, these bricks look different from all the rest of them. So I'm wondering if he went through here, but I can't like push it. But there's air coming from here.
Well, you know what? I believe that bricks fall in the family of hard things that can be carved, so I think I might be able to.
Did you just flex?
So, I did indeed.
He's like, stand aside, let a master through.
So I think I might be able to provide some insight into these bricks.
Go ahead. You're gonna roll history check. You're gonna get an advantage on that check.
Sounds great. Do I do that?
So you roll twice. Take your high number.
Okay. 7.
Plus whatever your history is.
Oh.
Take the 7.
And 4. 7 plus 1, 8.
Your history is only plus 1?
Yeah, just a plus 1.
Well, it doesn't do anything when you push on them. They're definitely bricks. They're definitely new, and you can tell a little bit. They're a totally different type of brick than the others, which just leads further credence to these are not. These don't belong.
Can I try and see if they're magical bricks?
Arcana? Yes, go for it.
18.
They are not magical.
They're just bricks.
The one good roll I had.
All right, so we have this wall of mismatched bricks right here. Just kind of like, well, that could kind of be a passageway. Clearly
I want to
something
smash him
behind
with
it.
a hammer.
Smash away.
Sounds terrific. I could lend a hand.
9. That's it. Or is it? It's not athletics, is it? I don't have like a hammer weapon. It's just a hammer tool that I have.
A hammer tool?
Yeah, it's a tool.
I think that a hammer tool and a hammer weapon are like the same.
Okay. Well then.
All right.
Well then, that's a no. Unless I can use dexterity.
Well, it would be strength for.
Yeah, then
bashing
no.
down
That's a
some
9.
bricks. I dexterously hit the bricks.
Maybe I could give you a hand there.
Yes, please. I'd love it. Smash it with your hammer.
As you hear her hammer, just go like.
All right, an 8 and
Plus strength.
3, so 11.
All right, do some damage on those bricks.
Why Why did I waste all my good roll
You
on
can roll
checking if the non-magical bricks
whatever
are
your
magical?
hammer.
Oh,
I think
yeah,
it's a
okay,
D,
yeah.
I think it's a D4 plus
Yeah.
whatever your strength modifier is.
2 plus 3, so
Alright.
that'd be 5.
This sucks.
All right. This is not your shining moment. Hold
The
So-
thief's gone. He's gone.
No.
So, as you
I had so much money.
strike, one of the bricks pops loose, and you can tell that there is behind it a some sort of a barred mechanism or something that will cross behind all these bricks, as opposed to normal masonry, which is set up against some sort of solid structure back.
Is there a
Friends,
mechanism?
I believe there must be a mechanism.
I'm gonna investigate it to see what kind of mechanism it is. Nope, that's a 5.
You decide not to look.
I'm just like, you know what? Keep smashing. Just keep smashing it.
I'm gonna take my light around and also investigate.
Is there a window or?
No windows. in this room.
14.
14. So, having the advantage of seeing a piece of the mechanism, you can tell that these bars. It's bars behind it set up, possibly to hold it in place, and you can tell that they've been heavily greased. Perhaps it's some sort of a slide or a rotational piece to this.
Mm-hmm. Can I investigate the floor for any type of trigger mechanism or something?
Go ahead and roll with advantage, since you know there is a mechanism for some
Okay.
sort of something somewhere.
3.
Roll it again.
Roll again.
Take the other one.
10.
What's your
Plus-
investigation?
1.
I love it. Alright. As you
Someone get this guy some new
you're
dice.
looking around and feeling around, aided a little bit by the
Kelsey, your
light,
dice suck.
you
Yeah, what's up with
Sorry.
you don't really find anything, but upon leaning up and leaning against this,
You're
I
like,
knew it had to be somewhere.
Oh!
this set of bricks on the other side push in a little bit and catch your balance as you can see the bars sliding and rotating and then flipping this door outwards.
I'm gonna dash
Which
through it
hits the barrels.
using my feline agility.
All right, flying down that dark hallway. Roll for some perception for me
Great.
as you dart blindly down a hallway.
I'm feeling pretty casual, so I'll just kind of walk in behind.
Whatever's there is gonna get hit.
I mean,
A
like,
12. All right. So as you dart through, you notice the floor of this cavern, which is basically just a rough carved tunnel. The floor is vaguely flat, but not quite. And as you run, you realize this is a little bit not dry. Roll dex save.
Oh my gosh. 11.
11. All right. As you bolt down, you don't quite make the save. As you bolt through, eager to get your coin back and figure out what's going on, you end up slipping and sliding and end up falling flat and just sliding down, which is now a somewhat downhill slanted curve.
Oh, that's fine.
You see this happen.
That's fine. I'm okay with that. I'm still
And-
moving forward. It's a slide now.
And how do you respond? How do you guys respond to this?
it's just like an incline or decline.
Decline.
Yes, it's not very steep, but if you slipped, you'd keep sliding.
You elves are pretty nimble-footed, right?
I don't want to brag, but yes. I'll go ahead and just
What do you
walk
think? You go
down.
first.
All right, walking carefully, knowing the potential danger, you manage to get
How
It
far did I
continue
get
down.
before I started sliding?
12, 15 feet.
Well, I was going at considerable speed, so now that I'm
You're-
sliding.
Cheetah, 0 to 60 in what, 2 seconds?
Yes,
All right.
exactly.
Are you also following down the?
Yeah, I'm gonna follow down.
Well, I'm gonna get somewhere quick because now I'm sliding.
You hear a light splash ahead as you have now made it to the flat part, like a kid hitting the bottom of a nice slide. Just, and around you, you see what appears to be a slightly larger chamber, probably part of the actual sewer system. It's obviously created out of stonework. And this is clearly just like a dug tunnel in the side of where the stonework was, and you can see like some of the rubble and stuff was around where they started this tunnel. As you guys reach the end of the tunnel, you also see the same. You get the same information from just kind of looking around, with the addition of a very now muddy cat person.
And like I'm literally a wet cat now.
You don't look very happy.
I'm just like. I'm gonna try and like look around and see if I can find where this person went.
All right, so investigate. We'll try to figure out what's going on with this person.
20.
All right, so
where is he?
this one, in his haste, he must have also missed the slide set. Because as you start to get up, you realize there's another body print in the mud right here, and then clearly footsteps leading off down the pathway there, up onto kind of the walkways that are put in these sorts of tunnels, with just clearly muddy footprints just going down the tunnel.
I'm gonna
there's
follow
that tunnel.
those.
There's a couple in front of you, just kind of splitting off, and then one immediately to your right. So you're at like a flat juncture with tunnels coming in from each side like this, and the footprints are leading off that way.
I'm gonna follow them.
All right.
I'm going after him.
As you see her get up, not even like recognize you guys, just taking a look, seeing she's gone. Again, bolting down the hallway, following the footprints.
I'm running normal now, though.
Looking around for any kind
Going a
of
little bit slower.
Determined one she is.
Now I'm wet and uncomfortable.
Alright, as you run down,
Everyone
what are you
knows
guys doing?
dwarves are very fast, so I'm going to take off after her.
Alright, so they're both running down.
I'm just kind of walking still. I figured they're gonna handle this for the most part. I'll waste unnecessary energy.
I have to say, it feels great to be underground again. This is the way the world
I
was meant
also
to be.
don't like being underground, so I'm just a little extra cautious.
You're like,
Alright, so at this point, she's made it a considerable distance away from you. You are trailing behind as she gets farther and farther away. There's only about 15-20 feet separating you.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and roll perception, the two of you. Not you yet. I mean, you can perceive to see if you see them.
that's
Looking
a
around.
one.
One for perception. You are so fucking
I'm gonna get this.
11.
tunnel vision, single-minded, one track. What did you get?
11.
11. All right. So as you're going down this, you don't see them come out of the side,
Oh dear.
but you just barely notice them come up on her, and they're going to attempt to club you in the face.
What are them?
You'll see.
You'll find out.
That is going to be an 18.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
gonna
dear.
hit my face.
Luckily, it only does 3 damage.
Okay.
So as you're running down off the
I'm
side,
like, oh jeez.
this outcropping that you didn't even know was there comes this solid object that just bam knocks you a pretty good one, dealing that 3 damage. And you see this happening as another figure comes out from an outcropping on the other side. How do you respond?
Other
Steph?
side? Close to
there's-
me?
You're in a tunnel. It's about 15 feet wide, and there's a
Mhm.
series of outcroppings,
Mm-hmm.
maybe access tunnels and things like that.
What
through
just
the
hit me?
surface. As you recoil from the blow, you see this pretty normal human, except hooded, and it just has like the bandolier, the belt, very rough looking individual with a hood and a club. And the other one on the other side of the hallway or tunnel is similarly attired with a club as well. Although what's under the robes, you have no idea.
That's a fair question.
No
Well,
one knows.
I'm going to go after the closest one with my hand axe.
All right, we're gonna have to roll initiative to see who gets to what first.
Definitely gonna pull out my sword. My rapier.
Oh, now you get the good roll.
Where you at?
20.
Oh, all right.
So wasted.
There we go. Told you I was
what do you got?
fast.
6.
You are first.
All right. You get the first move.
All right.
So you're going to be attacking the closest one, which is the one that just engaged her.
Okay.
How are you engaging?
Let's say you underhanded blackguard attacking a woman from behind. I leap forward with my axe with an overhead blow. And it's
You
like,
gotta attack with
"Rah!"
words first.
Go ahead and roll your attack.
It's a verbal attack.
It's a verbal attack first. Oh, the axe
Bard.
attack. Can I fight with words as a bard?
There's
Really?
an attack that does damage.
Like,
Um,
15.
okay, that'll hit.
It's like the weaponized laughter in Cuphead.
That'll hit. And roll your damage.
Alright, so I get a 6.
Pink pen is failing.
It's a pencil.
2, and then do I add?
Fair.
You're gonna add what your relevant.
So
Is that like
proficiency.
We're
attack
using
bonus
strength.
or strength?
It'd be strength. So add your
Oh,
plus
but it
3.
wouldn't be proficiency.
So just
So-
5.
5.
All right. So as you return blow for blow, not your blow, but a blow.
Rah!
As he's just looking at, hasn't quite realized you're there yet. I guess as you have landed a solid blow, right on his head as he glares back at you. And the next up is the thug you just hit. He's gonna try and kick you off the walkway back down into the muck. So strength check. It's gonna be versus 12. Oh, you beat him.
15.
As he tries to push you
16.
off to get a little bit more distance there, he manages to push you a little bit, but not enough to accomplish his goal.
It's like, rubbish, you can't push this. I'm a mini-man mountain.
Oh, I'm good. I got lead. Thanks for the pen, though. We don't write with pens in D&D. It's dangerous.
That's permanent.
Yeah. Oh, brave. Willow, how are you responding to getting smacked in the head?
As I see him
Hissing.
like off balance from trying to kick him, can I like kick him in the back?
Yes?
I'm gonna do that.
Alright, good.
The flying cat kick.
That's an 8.
Well, he rolled a 1.
Okay, perfect, yay!
So as he's a little bit off balance, you push him up against the wall, causes him to lose his balance even more as he tumbles down onto the platform, and then he just rolls into the mud. He is now laying prone in a pile of yucky stuff.
Beautiful.
Is there anything else you'd like to do on your turn for a move?
Where's the other guy?
The other guy is to your right on the other side of the muck ditch.
Okay.
So you wall, walkway, ditch, walkway, wall.
And
All
he's
in-
on the
all in
other
it.
side?
Yeah, he's on the other side.
Oh, okay, that's all I'm gonna do.
Well, it is now his turn, so as he sees this happening, he's going to pull out a dagger and just give it a solid whirl in your direction.
Whoa.
That's a 17.
Oh.
Can I try and dodge that?
That's trouble.
Do you have, like, uncanny dodge or something?
No, not yet.
Well,
I don't think I do yet.
No, I don't think you do either.
I don't think that's...
He seems to be a very good aim, or you're very out of it from being hit in the head. That dagger strikes straight in the side of your shoulder, dealing a total of 6 damage.
Well, I'm down.
That was
Slow.
fast.
That
As the blow
hurts.
lands, you slink down in pain, unable to continue the fight.
Ow.
This is not a good day.
And
Why
this
did
is
I
how
come
she
down
lost her
here?
character in the first 10 minutes.
No, I love her.
All right, Heath, we're back to you.
Why am I
By
rolling
now,
so
you've probably
poorly?
reached. Are you engaging as well?
Yeah.
Okay, roll in initiative so I see where you go.
This was like kind of like around a corner a little ways
Yeah,
from where I
you-
was. So like I'm rounding the
You're
corner
like,
and seeing
holy
this.
crap,
Okay.
there are blows.
Is this for initiative?
Yeah. We're initializing
13.
you. 13. Oh, just barely above this guy. I've covered your name with my dice.
Still can't remember.
I really can't. All right, Heath, you're up.
So I'm gonna go after this dastardly fellow that's throwing daggers at people.
All right, so there's one laying in the ditch, flat on his back, still from being kicked over, and then there's the one who just threw the dagger. So you're going to try and traverse over to get to him. You can make it there, no problem.
Very good. All right, so I'm going to do a little toss my hand axe to the other side here, slash at him with my left.
All right, go ahead, roll your attack.
Ooh, 18
That hits him.
with the 3. All right, so ooh, 5
Plus
Three.
your strength.
3, so 8.
All right. As you come up, you make a good solid purchase right in the abdomen. It definitely sticks in. He's sitting on his face. He's like, "Oh crap! I did not expect that." And he's not totally out yet, but he's like, holy, what just happened? Much like Willow.
Yeah.
That does it for you, Varys. You're in.
I really don't understand what's going on.
You got clubbed and stabbed.
I'm like, someone just took my money, I slid down a slide, and then I got hit in the face. Like,
So the guy that he just hit is still up.
He's still up. He's still in the fight,
Just
but he's got an
not
axe
quite.
sticking out of his
Okay.
abdomen, and it's like in.
it's not coming out.
So as I round the corner, I'm seeing this all happen. See her drop and him stabbing him. I'm gonna try and finish that guy off with a longbow.
All right.
That'll be
Turns out these
15?
are just cops who run the sewers.
all right. 15, and that's gonna be 11 damage.
All right. As you see this, thunk, as you turn the corner, pulling your bow to finish him off, and then straighten his neck. Oh, he can't even scream as he pulls himself off the axe. And is no more. Well, that'll do it for you. I believe that was your movement and all that as well.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now it is the other guy's turn. Seeing him fell and seeing, well, I've taken one down. He turns and he runs. There are three of you still, or two of you still, and one of him. So he took off running.
Does that give one of them an attack of opportunity?
Only if they were within a certain.
They were on the other
Oh,
side.
okay.
You will have to do that saving throw.
Yeah.
See if that artery will close up on you.
Because that happens.
Yes, it will.
What'd you get?
14.
All right, so you passed one of your throws. What are you guys doing?
Can't you just help me out?
She's laying there.
So I would
Leaning
I
up
would
her
love
shoulder.
to throw my hammer at this guy's leg to trip him up.
As he's running.
Okay. All right.
Try to stop him.
For the explicit purpose of tripping.
Tripping, yes.
All right. Go ahead and make
Achilles tendon.
you're throwing it, so it's going to be dexterity.
So 12.
With your dex bonus.
Yeah, dexterity.
So as a 12, just barely gets it. As you throw it, not intending to cause damage, so it's not going to cause any damage, but it does hit him right in the heel as he's running, and it pops just enough so that he does a quick tumble, and he's now down. You've slowed him down. Good job.
All right.
All right. I assume you're also traveling towards him, or are you staying here to
Yes,
do
sprinting at this guy.
You can almost reach him. You're not quite there, but you're almost on it.
There's
So I want to move after him as well, and at the same time cast Entangle and see if I can catch him in some vines.
All right. Do I do a save? For
Yes,
Entangle?
strength 14. He passed in me.
As he's the vines start. Oh, he's disadvantaged because he's. It's an 18 or a 20. Which one? So he's adrenaline's a powerful thing. As he's being tripped up by this hammer, he's pulling off the vines as they attempt to entangle him. Still hasn't regained his composure, but he's not trapped.
Okay.
It is his turn once again. So he's going to right himself and once again begin sprinting down.
And that's also difficult terrain now because it's 20 feet in front of him.
Okay, so he's still entangled just a tiny bit by these, but he hasn't quite made it out of your grasp on your next turn if you're still pursuing him.
Yes.
All right. So that's his. As you chase up to him, you still have your bow and your axe, but your hammer's laying on the ground because you threw it at him.
Oh yes, I'll have to recover that later. Because right now the key thing is getting my hands on this guy and subduing him.
So you're
gonna leave him
attempting to grab
conscious because I want to talk to him afterwards. But yeah, I'm gonna try to wrestle this guy and grab him.
Oh, one mechanism we didn't go over because you're not as familiar with the mechanisms of the game. You can specify when you're attacking that you're trying to subdue instead of kill them. So you can knock him out, like pummel, bash him in the face or something. So yes, you can do that.
So
That's
could I
fine.
subdue him non-lethally with my axe?
Yeah.
All right.
You just take the hilt and you go BAM!
Yeah, there we go.
Last second, you just spin it around and smack him.
There we go. There we go. Yeah. 8.
Roll.
Yeah,
Roll
that
again.
That was an
the
edge. That was an edge. All right, there we go. 18. That's fine.
18. All right.
Plus, use
So yeah, like
plus
21.
whatever.
21.
21.
Yeah. So as you're going, roll for your attack. Still damages normally.
5.
5. All right. So as he turns to look to see if anyone's still chasing him, he's out. Just
That's gonna be a black
flumps
eye.
down. Little bits of thorn magically disappearing from his clothing. That's the effect of it. All right. So he is now subdued. He does get nothing. He's out. Are you still alive?
That's a fail.
It's a fail. All right. So he's subdued. She's bleeding out.
Oh, no.
And you guys haven't been hit yet, so you guys are still looking good.
What?
I'd like for somebody to pick me up. That would be nice.
You scream down the
So, you
hallway.
want to go
"Hello!"
chase after some more people?
I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, today's been a bad day.
Do druids have healing
I
magic in
wish,
this game?
I wish somebody
Well, some
were here
druids.
to help me.
Gotta see what.
I wish
No.
somebody
Oh wait, yes, I
cared.
do.
Alright, Master Elf Druid, I think
I want my willow tree.
the lady can use some of your attention.
So your situation, you're underground in what is presumably the city sewers, and you have a captive, well, by virtue of him being unconscious and your enemy, and you have a pseudo teammate person who came down here with you, who is covered in mud and currently bleeding out from her shoulder, with the dagger sticking out about 30 feet behind you. Now what do you do?
Well, I think I can take care of this guy if you want to go help the cat lady over there.
Oh yeah, and there's a dead guy.
and you know, the corpse.
We'll ignore that.
We should search him later.
So I'm gonna walk over to her. I'm gonna kneel down. I'm gonna touch her and use Cure Wounds. For,
Let's see.
What does that give me?
when I heal her like that, is she gonna be up for? Okay, just make sure. It's gonna be 7 + 4, so yeah, 11 health points.
Oh, that's more than I can have.
You are healed.
Yay! That's miraculous.
You were taken down by
Amazing.
one really good shot with a dagger, but luckily magic is wonderful.
Ooh, I'm gonna pop back up, and I'm gonna like.
You feel revitalized and healed, and you have no wounds or scars or anything.
I'm gonna be like, thank you. I'm gonna hug him.
Who's right? Oh,
And then I'm gonna walk over to the dead guy and start like searching through him and trying to figure out everything I can figure out about
You're a
this guy.
curious one, aren't you?
As
Ooh,
you
yeah.
as you look over the possessions and like just whatever this guy's got on him, he's bleeding quite profusely. he's definitely dead. He's bleeding quite profusely, like covering from his neck, from his abdomen.
I don't
just
care about the blood.
Absolutely. All right.
Yep. You're already muddied. And
Yeah, I'm already a mess. I'm gonna have to take a bath later. I just want to know as much as I can about this guy besides what his wound is.
Remember to share the spoils.
I want to know who he is, what his name is, what his address, why is he here, what does he have on him.
Roll some investigation to find some of these details out. But as you are going through the stuff, you see he's got a bag with some coins jingling around, but
21.
well,
Tell me about this man.
so getting a good look at his face, and you got a pretty good look at the startled face who started running originally, and this is not him. He does have a coin purse with just a few coins in it, just a few copper, nothing big.
I'm taking it.
Well,
How
now you
much?
have money again.
How much?
7 copper pieces.
Okay. Okay, anyways,
Slowly
continue.
in par. He has just the weapon he was using is just a makeshift club, nothing fancy. Like looks like it was probably at one point in time a table leg. It's just like started using as a club. Wearing ratty, dirty, common kind of ripped up clothing. Doesn't seem to have any other possessions on him besides the dagger that I presume is no longer sticking out of your shoulder. Not a lot of information besides a very interesting tattoo on the inside of one of their fingers. It looks like some kind of a strange eye, or perhaps some sort of a map marker that's round with like a dot. It's not sure what it is, but
I'm gonna cut that piece of skin off and you take it.
you do so with the dagger he stabbed you with. All right.
Now it's mine.
So you have a little piece of flabby skin.
After asking her if she's curious, I'm gonna look at that and be like, "Okay, what are you doing?"
2 copper pieces, and I don't know if you took his clothes in club or anything, but I'm assuming those are staying behind.
He's now naked in a puddle.
He's now naked in a puddle.
So
Nice
I lean down
focus.
and grab my trusty hammer. So it's like,
That served
trusty
you pretty
hammer.
well in this particular.
it's been pretty great.
When I'm done with this guy, I'm gonna walk over to the other guy with him.
So this guy, is there any chance of him getting away?
He's out pretty cold.
I mean, once he wakes up.
I don't
he's not-
I honestly don't even.
All right, I
He's
think
not
I'm gonna.
restrained or anything.
All right, I'm gonna
No,
use
no.
my rope to tie him up.
Very well. prop him up and lash him down and tie him up, and he's just like...
Yeah. I would like to try to
Drooling
get
a
him
little
awake.
As I'm walking over, I'm gonna be like examining the piece of skin. Do I recognize? Can I like roll to see if I recognize the symbol at all?
You can. So if you know any...
History check?
Yeah, if it's got anything from historical significance, you can go ahead and roll and see if that.
18.
18. As far as you know, this doesn't have significance to any of the rumors or stories that you've collected, which is actually a pretty sizable amount given your curiosity. So you can be pretty sure that this isn't a historically significant symbol.
Okay.
Some other kind of significance, or perhaps just a cheap tattoo.
And I
you're
had,
getting.
and I have no memory of anything else.
No,
That
not
would
of
remind me.
anything like
Okay.
that. All right. So you have your hammer.
So
back.
I'm all right. So I've tied the guy up, and now I'm slapping him, trying to get him awake.
Wake up! Wake up! You have brain damage yet!
You hit him pretty hard though. Varys, what are you up to right now?
Oh, I'm checking out the captive because
Watching.
she disturbed me a little bit.
Do you have any kind of magic that can wake this guy up?
I mean, I could
he
attempt
wakes
to.
up after a little bit of slapping around. He comes to, it's like, my face, head.
All right, you vagabond. What is the meaning of this?
You come into my home and ask me what the meaning of this.
This is your home? Why do you live in the sewer? Isn't that dirty?
So are you.
Only because I fell in your home!
Well, still,
You should really clean around here.
the sewer.
Why are you living in it?
Well, I didn't feel like going home to my mansion.
Why? It's so much better than this!
Wait,
Why
you have
did
a
you-
mansion?
Who's the guy who
Sorry.
took our money? And where did he go?
Did you take our money?
There was another ran by not long before you came.
Why didn't you hit him?
Because we know him.
Oh. Does he live here too? I need his
Among
address.
others. There's no addresses. We're just here because we're not allowed
1,
to
2,
sleep in the
3
streets.
Okay, well then what part of the sewer does he sleep in?
I'm not sure. He just went that way.
Who
How
are
are you
you
not
people?
sure if you know him? I don't trust this guy. I'm gonna insight check him.
Inside away.
Test tube 20.
Oh, it's funny. He is, I mean, he's not lying. But he's definitely not telling you things.
So who are you people?
But it's just, like you said, we're just vagabonds. We're just roaming because we have nowhere else to
I'm gonna show him this piece of skin I cut off his friend and be like, what does this mean?
Given your insight, you can tell that this is something he probably recognizes. He wasn't quite as surprised as he should be. So, no, it's just, what is that?
You know what this is, you're lying.
I want to check this guy's hands.
As you grab his hand, she's also got one on the same finger. Looks
All right,
exactly
what is
the
this?
same.
What is the meaning of this?
I'm gonna like put it right next to it and be like, see?
All right, what is
Fine.
the meaning of this?
Look, I will tell you, and you will untie me and let me run that way.
Once
If
we're
you
done
tell us
with
the
you.
If you
Once
don't
we're
tell
done
us the
with you.
truth, that won't happen.
I want to search him first and see if he has any gold on him.
Say, hey, that's mine. He just has a little coin bag that just has a few coins jangling around.
Well,
So why did you-
my money was mine and I don't have that anymore, so tough. We're all
Yeah.
having a bad day.
Yeah, why did you even attack us? Like, you have people living down here. Why do you care about surface dwellers coming down?
If you promise not to steal my money, I will fill you in.
All right. Okay. All right, let him keep his money.
You've beat me. It's fair.
Tell
He's
the-
trying to put his hands up, but he's...
You better tell the
Yeah,
truth.
you
I can tell when
clubbed-
you're lying.
You clubbed my friend over here.
It's like, it's all right. We stand watch, stand guard. I apologize for hitting you on the head. It's just this shady sort of business. But the file you're looking for is down that way. every once in a while we use our connections to go through and test our skill at some of the local taverns. Drunks are easy to pickpocket.
I wasn't drunk.
Yeah, I don't know what you were talking
to our
about.
skills.
I'm sorry.
Dwarves have a high tolerance.
That way, I need something more specific than that way.
Well,
These are not measurable quantities. That way, I can't follow that way.
we don't survive here on our own. Just like you. What are you? You're some kind of a smith or some sort.
That's not important. Come on.
Well, look, we have our organizations. We have to pay them. Things get ugly down here for us. We're just taking care
Who's
of
your
ourselves.
organization?
It's just the eye. Hence, the eye.
What do they do? What is their business?
If I knew much besides pay or will beat you up and probably kill you, I wouldn't be standing guard in a dirty, stinking tunnel, would I?
Okay, what way's that
And
way?
they'd give me more than a freaking table leg to beat you with.
What way's that way?
Like, that just goes deeper on into the sewers. There's
Do you know where he's going? I need something.
not directly, just farther down.
Are there any more of your friends waiting for us?
Yes.
If we
Can
take
you call them off?
Yeah, if we take you, can you call them off?
We'll put you first.
You get the impression he's not incredibly bright.
Pick him up. We're gonna take him first. Just keep him out in front of us.
Well, you know what though? I do like a challenge.
No.
Might be fun to
Just
fight
pick
one
him
of
up
these
and put him
guys.
out in front of us.
She
I'm
did, and she died
outskirts.
last time.
I'm outer watch. They see me coming, they'll just kill me and go straight through to you.
Okay,
won't
well
do
at
you
least
any
you'll be a
good.
shield.
Not a very good one. I'm all tied up. What am I gonna do? Flop around?
Well, then you should give us a better solution to this problem.
Okay,
Sometimes-
Fine. Look, here's what I know.
Otherwise,
Just
we're gonna
let-
use you as a
Let
shield.
me go. That I can't come back here anyways. You get through, I'm dead. You don't make it through, I'm
All
dead.
right. We have a saying among dwarves that
I'm
sometimes
not a dwarf.
quiet you.
We're not talking about
you. Yeah,
The grown-ups are talking.
that sometimes it's better to be merciful. So I think we should just let this guy go and continue on.
Saying? I like it. I like it.
What? What was
I
that?
I like it.
I'm gonna lean over and whisper to him I wasn't planning on killing him. I just want him to be scared.
Okay, I never know with cat people.
Have you ever met a cat person?
Yes, they have very shifty eyes and they smell of fish.
That's racist.
Accurate.
It is not. I don't smell like fish. I smell like sewer.
As dwarfs are not known for
That's
our.
so much better.
Sometimes known to be blunt.
Look,
I feel
Yes,
Blunt like our
discriminated
hammers.
against.
okay, I'll tell
Well,
you
you
what I know.
smell
Look,
weird too.
You smell the
goes
sewer.
Nobody goes down this way. Look a little ways up. Watch the wall. If you found your way in here, you'll find your way again. If you go, follow the wall, and you'll find more of those bricks. Same ones. If you got through that door, you know how to get through. It'll take you past this. You won't have to worry about any of my other friends.
Where do we go from there?
I don't know. I don't know who he was working for, per se.
All right, hold on a second. So, what is the name of this guy
What
that we're
if we
going
let
after?
you
Know
go
his
and
name.
you?
How do you not know his
warn us?
name?
Why would I know his name?
Because you
We
said
get-
you know
said
him.
you know this guy.
It's faces.
You guys never use your names?
Oh.
Is he
All right,
lying?
what's your name?
Oh, no one's asked you your name. Tell us.
We don't need names here.
But what
We
is
need
your
faces.
name?
All right, I shall call you Shabby the Nameless.
Very well. It's as good a title as any.
I'll call you Frank.
What? But I can't be Frank and nameless.
Yes, you can. You're Frank the Nameless.
Nameless Frank.
Yeah.
We'll
Anyways,
call you
let's go.
Frank
But,
the...
well, if we let you go, how do we know you're not just gonna warn your buddies?
Well, he's gonna go the other way, I think.
Yeah, I'll go that way. Why? Wow, that's a stupid question. Why would I want them? Why wouldn't I want them?
Exactly.
Oh my
See?
goodness.
Brain damage.
You are not helping the case.
Knock him out again. Give us a head start. Hit him with your hammer.
Brain damage.
You have no brain cell left after this.
Alright. Alright, I think I'm gonna plonk him on the head with my hammer. Boink! Alright. Alright, I grab my rope. Take my rope back.
Alright, I'm gonna
This
go
is
the
like-
direction that he
Flops back over unconscious.
specified. I'm gonna look on the walls for the bricks.
Alright. As you, assuming you have no more business with the unconscious man. And his
Other than,
club-
does he have nice shoes?
No. He's not wearing shoes.
He's in the sewer.
Yeah, they're gonna be covered.
The shoes would be ruined
Where
anyway.
He wants ringworm. He's not wearing any. I don't know.
Horrible.
So, as you guys continue down, you do indeed find this patch. It's a little bit more concealed, but you knew what to look for. So there you go. You're able to find it and activates just the same as any other. Down this corridor, you can't quite see it. It looks to be a little bit more neatly carved out than the tunnel which you originated from, but it's still just kind of a carved tunnel that continues on out of sight, kind of bends around. The path, though, of the sewer continues forward, and you can still see those footprints of the guy you were chasing going that direction.
I'm gonna follow those.
The footprints, not the path.
I'm gonna follow the footprints.
I'll stick with her since she already went down once.
Say, friends, perhaps we should get each other's names since we're kind of in this together trying to get our gold back.
Ah, right. I'm Virus.
I'm Heath. Heath of Onyx Reach. And
As she's just pondering these footsteps.
she is a...
No, I'm following the footsteps. I was just looking.
As you guys are having a conversation behind her, like traipsing along, following the footprints.
I'm sure you'll
Tell me
make
the
that
names.
happen. I was gonna say, do I get a goal to like be able to keep following the footprints? But you'll.
No,
I'm
you
sure
found the
you'll
trail,
tell me
you're
if
alright.
it's like.
Perhaps clumsy, the easily wounded.
Ah, quite right.
What?
Oh, we were trying to figure out your name, so...
Oh, Willow Shade.
Willow Shade, okay. I think I like...
You can just call
I
me
think I like
Willow.
the clumsy better.
No.
The lack of sure foot.
No. It was an accident, okay?
Well, anyway, at least you blaze the trail
I can
for us,
navigate
so.
trees just fine. If this were a forest, we'd be cool.
Okay, well, since we're underground, maybe I should be taking the lead on this thing.
I think that might be the best
Follow
idea.
these footsteps.
All right. I use my keen dwarvish eyes and sixth sense for underground
And I'm just gonna
tracking.
like sulk behind. My tail's like flicking and my ears are pinned back.
As you continue down the path, choosing not to go into the side tunnel, instructed by your captive, you continue down.
Oh wait, are we not going down the side tunnel?
She was
Following
not.
the
He was
footprints.
following.
Oh, the footprints.
The footprints
oh.
did not go in the tunnel.
Oh, right.
Did not go in that little side passage.
Ooh, that's a tough call, isn't it?
So
All right, now let's.
you don't
I
want to
told
chase
you
it
to-
on your own.
I told you to follow the footprints.
All right.
So
Let's
as you
do it.
continue down, you see that the walls start to get much smoother as the stonework has been aged and etched by water and erosion, but there aren't any more outcroppings to worry about. And as you begin to wonder if you'll ever see anything besides footprints, and the dripping sounds in the tunnel become almost obnoxious. You begin to see sources of light up ahead, straight ahead in the tunnel, and it looks like it splits past a large, what is the word that I'm looking for? Almost like a cistern would be. Of course, it's empty of water. So the path continues on into what is essentially an emptied cistern with several other paths leading aside. You guys can see this coming up, but you haven't quite got there yet, as you can start to hear voices echoing off the walls ahead. There doesn't seem to be any cover in between you and this empty cistern, but you do have a little bit of a heads up.
So is this cistern deep? Like we can't...
You're at the bottom of it. So
Oh,
flat.
we're at the
It's flat.
bottom. Okay.
Yeah.
So wait, where are the voices coming from?
Just up ahead somewhere. There's sources of light up ahead, flickering.
Where it like opens up?
Yes.
Who has keener ears, an elf or a cat?
I mean, I don't know. Probably.
She might have some mud in her ears.
At this point. I'm gonna stealth so that I'm not walking loudly.
Very well. Roll some stealths. Is anyone else stealthing up?
Oh, that's a
Pretty
good
light.
That's
light-footed.
a 9.
Pretty light-footed in general.
With a
so.
+5 to that one.
A 9 plus 5? Or
No,
9
it's
total?
with it's with a +5.
19.
A 9. Alright. It's difficult for you to sneak right. You're trying your best, but it's a little bit hard being caked in mud and blood.
14.
14. Alright. You hunker down a little bit.
43 low.
Walk slowly forward, and you are creeped out by the sounds of your footsteps disappearing. Alright.
I'm
As
also
you-
gonna pull out my bow and just be ready.
Very well. As you approach, the voices get louder and louder. Now you can hear that there are several voices, at least 3, just echoing off of these, although it looks like nobody is in the actual circle that is the cistern.
Like
at
the
this point in
bottom
time.
part.
Yeah, you guys are at the bottom of it,
Right.
where the sewers would be. So,
Can I like peek and see
in
if I
front of
can
you, you see
figure out where
another
the voices are
3
coming from?
split path, and they're all almost definitely coming from the one on the left side. There's a
Can I-
light source at the end of each one, but the voices are coming from that side.
Can I see where the footprints lead?
It's getting a little bit muddy here, being at the bottom of a used cistern. So it's going to be a little harder to track them. There are several sets of footprints at this point.
Would
Now
I
that you're looking.
roll survival to try and track them?
Yes, you can use that for your tracking if you'd like, or you can use investigation.
Oh, I love it. Tracking. Use your sense of smell, too.
10.
10. So,
I'm rolling terribly!
well, yeah. So as you look down at all these footprints crisscrossing, it's difficult to figure out which ones go where. You're not entirely sure anymore which way they lead.
I'm gonna go to the point where we can last see his footprints and see if I can follow them any better.
I'll give it a shot. Seeing her frustration.
I'm like growling.
I'll also use survival. That's what I would use in the woods, and that's
Like
gonna
a
be
low
25.
growl.
25. As she is
You should
looking
do
at
these
the
things.
trying to figure out where the paths go, you can gently point out those ones.
Just, see how they continue right there.
They
You don't have to be condescending.
and they do
That
they do
wasn't
indeed
condescending
continue
at
on the
all.
path to your left, where the voices are also coming from.
It's a lot of trouble to go through for a few measly gold pieces.
I mean, maybe you had a few measly gold pieces, but I did not.
Every coin is valuable to dwarf.
I
You
kind
got
of,
your treasure
I
stolen.
kind of want my money
I
back.
Not
suppose
happening
the
again.
other patrons would probably appreciate theirs returned as well.
I mean, I'm sure there'd be a reward.
Oh, I've got some possible good news
Nudge, nudge.
for you friends. If we don't go back, we don't have to pay our tab.
You can play it how you want. It's your
I
game.
mean,
I made a world. Do your thing.
I don't know how much a water costs, to be honest.
I was about 6
I honestly
pints
don't
in,
remember
so...
buying a drink, but
Oh, been there a while, have we?
no, it's
Secret fancy value is had water.
you should go see if he's in there.
Well, since my footsteps virtually disappeared at this point, I'm gonna creep to
You're
the
one
edge.
with the mud.
One
I'm gonna
I'm snake.
creep up and just keep an eye on when I can see people or make
I'm
sure that
slithering your garden.
Leaving your squad mates behind to take advantage of your stealthiness in this situation, you're able to creep up, and you see at the end of this passageway is an artificially carved out, obviously not part of the original sewer system, but maybe a collapsed tunnel or something along those lines that has been repurposed and carved out. And you see 3 very similarly clad individuals sitting at a table with bags of gold in a room that has a wooden iron-banded door with several sets of locks on it. Otherwise, the room appears to be pretty empty. And it's relatively small. You got like a 15-foot circle to work in.
See. Well,
You're the only one who's seeing this, by the way.
thank you.
Okay.
I'm gonna walk back real quick, explain the situation. Yeah, I'll just walk back and explain the situation.
Having been given this new insight, you guys will have to come up with a plan.
Was it him? Was it the guy who stole our money?
Not sure, but it's definitely the same nature of our other hooligans we've seen so far.
Well, do we all have bows? It was 3 guys, right?
Indeed.
3 against 3. We can take them.
You have a bow, dwarf?
I do, actually. Longbow, no
You gotta
less.
hold it sideways a little bit.
Gangster.
Yeah.
Kill shot! Sorry, I like that show.
Let's all just shoot them at once and take our money back.
Like, it's that simple.
I mean, it could be, unless you gotta complicate it.
I'm not
Sounds
entirely
like a plan to me.
trusting of your ability to aim at this present moment.
Now hold on, just because she tripped in a little mud and got the business end of a dagger doesn't.
I'm gonna produce a nice little cloth for you to clean your paws off so you don't slip on your tools.
The snark.
I'll like wipe it all over my face and like.
Just gonna hang it on your axe. Now, if we could all advance quietly, perhaps we can enact this plan. How long is the tunnel from the openings to get to those 3 guys?
15, 20 feet maybe.
And
Not
is
very
it like
far.
a straightaway, or is it like?
Oh, it's oh, wait, sorry. Your question. It kind of curves around.
Okay.
Yeah. The total distance is probably only 15, 20 feet from
Okay.
the end of that cistern.
So we stealthily get
Can
into a
I-
position to fire?
Yes.
Can I try to stealth again?
You can.
Can I keep mine, or should I do it again?
You
Pretty well adjusted.
Until
15.
something happens that makes you not stealthy anymore.
15.
I can't remember what was mine, like 11 or something?
13.
13?
You had 13.
13. Pretty decent.
It's not bad. It should be maybe enough to get to the halfway down the tunnel and shoot.
All right.
It looked like they were distracted, probably gambling or dealing of sorts.
As you round the corner stealthily with your bows, you see one of them has reached up and begun to unlock the door with the many padlocks. There's several of them. While the other 2 are sitting, having a conversation. That should be enough, I think.
He's gotten
Think it'll be enough?
through. He's gotten through how many
He's just
locks of
unlocking
how many?
Just a couple. But there were only a few, so by the time you guys are watching and trying to figure out what to do, it's unlocks the door and swings open and goes
Are we ready?
inside with the clutches of gold.
But that's just him. The other 2 are staying.
Yeah, just the one.
All right, I'm gonna use.
Wait, so he took all the gold?
Into the locked door.
Did they have any like cups or anything on the tables
They
with
do.
them? Okay,
Normal dinnerware type settings.
I'm gonna use Gust to knock one of them off the table in the direction away from us, so that they can kind of be distracted.
Right. As you knock the cup off the table, the one in mid-sentence, that should be a whoa, no.
Now.
It didn't. It didn't like it. It didn't like it.
Oh. Well, we're committed now.
What?
Oh dear.
What was that?
This has been a lesson in eavesdropping.
It's gonna be an 18.
An 18 to hit the one who stood.
The one who was, the one who was like, oh,
They're both looking at it and they're both terrified.
12. Do we get, if they're distracted, do we get advantage?
You would get advantage. Well, you would get advantage. You get a surprise round.
Oh.
I got
Oh,
9,
okay, well.
so I'm not sure I'm
Well, I
going to be
got
very helpful.
12
That will
on
hit.
surprise.
I got 18.
Oh, that's right. You guys are... Yeah, okay. Then we'll roll initiative. So 12 hit. What'd you roll?
I only got 9, so...
Were you in the front of the group?
I don't know,
Not
I think I was
anymore.
just...
I think
Yeah,
I was in the
They're
front.
blocking your view! Shoots wide.
That's right.
Alright, damage. Are you both shooting the same target?
I was shooting the one on the left, we'll say.
Which is the one who stood.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah,
You're firing again?
This is just to see damage. That's 9 damage.
9, okay.
Oh.
Oh,
Sorry,
single arrow,
I was
takedown.
mistaken.
Oh, it didn't like it! It didn't like it!
What is
As it
what?
falls down. You like the neck shots today, man.
It was 14, actually.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I'm just playing.
They're wearing no armor.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it's their
He's sitting.
So,
Dirty robes.
9.
Also 9.
Alright. Well, so seeing him shoot the other, you quickly readjust and fire at the one who's sitting as he sees his partner in crime or friend or who knows what fall down dead. The look of terror turns to absolute dread and totally blank as you manage to pierce in what must have been a straight-on shot to the heart. He just slumps down right onto the table. That was over fast.
Now,
Great work, guys.
I'm gonna...
has his friend come back out, or is he still
Not that
missing?
you can see.
Okay.
But the door is still open,
The
right?
door is still open. He
Okay.
did not shut it behind him.
I'm gonna stay sneaky, and I'm gonna like go up to the door and like peek, do a little side peek.
Roll dexterity save. You're just sticking your head in all the wrong places.
I'm just peeking.
Yeah.
Satisfaction brought it back.
Dex save
Yes.
10.
10. As
Oh dear.
I'm
As
not
you-
rolling well.
as you start to peek through, you realize that this has caused a little bit of noise as two men have fallen dead and screamed, and the goblet falling and all that jazz. And as you come around, the door, as you're peeking through, the hand grabs the door and slams it shut right in front of your face. Poof. As you can hear, key slide in, and then another key slides in. What will you guys do?
No.
What type of door is this?
This has just got several.
Oh
padlocks.
But is it wooden?
Yeah, it's a wooden iron band.
I'm gonna throw a produce flame at it.
All right.
Try
Well, the
it.
door catches fire, but doesn't burn out instantly. It goes
Right.
on fire.
Dwarf, give it a mighty kick.
Roll some damage for that fire. It's a
Oh,
D6.
it's a
D6. At the, oh, is it?
Yeah, as
Oh.
an attack, it's a D8.
Okay, attack the door.
1 damage.
Kick it! Kick it! Kick it!
All right,
Kick lighter.
I'm gonna charge at the door. All my weight.
That's gonna be
Do a
strength.
flying kick.
Ooh,
So 16.
16.
Plus your strength.
Yeah, that was.
Okay.
As you see here, the flame, like, it's there, but it's not doing a lot. You're just like, nope. The iron bands bend just ever so slightly as the door wood behind it breaks
That's
through
right.
as your shoulder.
I saw from before you.
Power.
And the man on the other side is laid flat with the blow. As he was apparently leaning against the door.
It's the best.
I'm gonna jump on him.
As you squirm your way through that hole and leap on him, are you trying to grapple or are you just like...
I'm
Elbow drop.
I'm trying to grapple.
Alright, do a grapple check on that. So you're going to
And
use... You can use strength or dexterity. For
I think I can use dexterity because I'm a rogue.
He failed.
Oh, okay.
As he's laying flat on his face, he's trying to pull away, but he doesn't even know what's happening. You got him before he's got any chance to do anything. He's now restrained by you.
Can I tell if he's the guy that took our money?
Getting a good look at his face, this is not the one who took your money.
Oh, that's weird. Okay.
He did have all those bags of gold though.
I'm gonna start do I have to use both hands to keep him grappled?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna use the other hand to start picking up the gold.
Well,
Actually,
she's
you're looking around for the gold that you were presuming that he dropped. However, upon looking around the room, you see this room is a little bit different construction. You've got like basically those terracotta tile type floor, like the big foot ones. The walls are carved out of stone, which is what the door was inset in. And in the middle of this room is just a giant statue of what looks like a very, very angry dog.
I'm gonna
With
tie him
a
up.
bowl.
I'm gonna tie him up, and I'm just gonna start looking at everything. I want to investigate everything.
The room's fairly plain. There's another passage that continues on past the room, much smaller, much rougher cut than the rest of them. You guys would barely be able to squeeze through that passage. It's a little one.
All right, I'm gonna talk
I'm
to
gonna
this guy.
I'm gonna investigate this dog. I want to find out as much about this room as I possibly can.
Okay. So the dog, it's not like you would think like, oh look, a nice statue of a dog. It's like, oh god, who unleashed Cerberus? Except it only has one head, but it's got just the extravagant features, very intense, deep set eyes with the overly rounded nose, the ears pointing straight out, way too long, way too sharp. Definitely not meant to be realistic. Clearly some kind of an intentional depiction of just this snarling dog. And in front of it sits a bowl, not like a dog bowl, like an offering bowl. But other than that, there aren't any other features. Inside the bowl is all the gold you were looking for, with the bags discarded and all the gold just sitting in the bowl.
I'm gonna take the gold.
It's more than one bag's worth. I hope you brought a backpack.
I do have a backpack. I should have a backpack.
Yeah,
I have
you
a
do.
backpack. Yes, so I'm gonna start stuffing it all in
It's
my backpack.
quite a bit of gold. It's going to be impossible to tell whose was whose.
How much gold?
As you're just raking it through, you want to take the time to count it now? Or
No.
you can do it later.
No, I'll do it
It's
later.
a bunch.
I'm gonna count it later.
All right, let's go talk to this guy. All right, who are you?
It's like, no, we would be punished if we don't offer the gold.
I'm gonna examine this statue more, by the way.
Below the bowl, you see it's on this very smooth stone black pedestal. It's a black stone, like some kind of an onyx or something like that. The statue itself is just appears to be a normal stone, but the pedestal is this black stone, and etched in it is a language that you don't understand, but it's clearly very finely crafted and etched. Some sort of wordage here on the bottom.
Ooh, let me get a look at that stone.
What language do you speak?
I speak Dwarvish and Draconic and Common.
Okay.
I also
you-
speak Common and
Sylvan.
Sylvan.
You speak Sylvan.
Mm-hmm.
You can read it. I forgot. I thought you chose something else. Once again, I need to read the character sheets. Sorry. So, you read this in it. Basically, the gist of the message is, offer me something of value, or I will take it.
Oh.
How old is this stone?
Looking at it, we
Basically.
go much older than the city.
Wow.
Can I,
That's creepy.
I wanna try to, or can I check it?
Okay, go for it. 12. There is a magical essence about the stone that this is kind of made out of. It's hard to tell what exactly it is, but like there's a magical essence to this. The stone, for one, is way too clean. But other than that, there's something special about this statue.
I'm gonna
magically
take like
so.
100 gold out of what I got and like put it back on the bowl.
All right. As you
Hold
place-
on, that's our booty.
As you grab a handful of gold and toss it back into the bowl, the statue doesn't respond in any noticeable way, but you can hear a faint ripple off on the side, continuing the passage, that narrow
follow.
little passage.
I'm gonna like look over where that noise came from. Can I like see anything down the passage?
You don't see anything.
I'm gonna like creep over to like the entrance to the passage and kind of like look down it.
So you look down the passage. It looks just like a dark, straight passage. Very odd, though. You can't see down the passage. Once it gets out of normal light shed, it's just as dark as anyone else, which is a strange sensation for you, having always been able to see in the dark.
All of my hair is gonna stand on end, and I'm gonna like
On command.
back. I'm gonna like back up and be like, I don't like it. Let's go back.
I'm curious of this guy. So, what are the consequences of not offering to this guy.
When you were trying to find out the history of the stone, was that like an ability check, or were you just trying to peruse and just kind of look at it?
Like a ability check, yeah.
Go ahead and roll for that, and you're gonna
there's
you're gonna get your an advantage.
20.
Oh, natural 20. You know almost everything about this rock. You're like, that is onyx. We dealt with that in Onyx Reach a hell of a lot. There's a little spire of it sticking out over the city. It's definitely onyx, but it's polished in such a weird way. You wouldn't normally expect onyx to be able to be polished that smooth. There's always some kind of weird veins or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But this is just straight polish. The stone that the statue is made out of, you realize, is completely different than the walls of the cavern that you're now standing in. It was probably came from somewhere much farther south, very similar to stone that you were used to seeing in the Snowy Mountains. Not quite the same, but along those kind of geologic lines. So it's been carried a great distance to come here. Very fine craftsmanship, just some of the stonework that was done, as well as the onyx. To get it inset like that would be nearly impossible. If you pay very close attention, which you did with your 20, to the etching, you can surmise that this was the pedestal is a type of stonework that you've seen used in many ritual type pedestals. Not typically the good kind, but the stone has been imbued with magic, and that's the entire purpose of the pedestal. And the dog sitting on top just happens to be its current alignment.
Fascinating.
I didn't specify, but I told them what it said.
Okay.
Well, dwarves aren't very superstitious, so I say we take the gold and run.
No, we need to leave some there, because there was a whooshing sound and I didn't like it. Leave some there. We don't need that. There's lots. I have lots. I'll share.
Sure. Also, this might be a good spot to stop if you don't want to commit another half hour to the game tonight. It's 10, so we can stop now, or we can go for another half hour.
I can go another half hour.
It'll probably be a pretty good stopping point in another 30 minutes or so.
That's fine.
Okay.
I'm good.
We're gonna go a little bit past our regular schedule because technical difficulties, which we still didn't fix. It's just why I have this light. And it'll be great next.
It's all right. No one's
You're
watching.
talking
You have,
from
like, a
heaven. It's
halo.
okay.
Yeah, but no one may be watching right now. But these are recorded and stored online, so it'll get better. This is fun. All right, so you guys are going to
Someone
continue
should
on
be
for another
watching.
about half hour or so. So there is a little bit of gold sitting there. Nothing happened when you removed the gold initially, by the way. So I didn't say anything happened. The only
you had to
See,
throw some back in.
superstition.
the only thing that you've heard is that kind of faint whooshing sound, almost like wind blown
I
over
don't
a
like
passage.
I don't like it. I want to go, guys.
passage.
Let's go. No, don't go down there. It's unnatural.
So there's actually a passage we could go further beyond this statue and.
Yep. So there's the door.
There
that
was
you
a
came
noise,
in,
I
there's
can't
the room with the
see.
statue, and then there's what appears to be another passage.
Well, I have a torch. If we need light, could investigate it. Might be interesting.
I don't normally need light. That's the problem.
I see.
Can I try and Arcana check the hallway to see if I can recognize what kind of magic is
Go for it.
down there?
Now, I had never actually entered the room. I was going
That's
to be
neat.
checking out those two bodies that we killed to see
Oh.
if
Oh,
we
that's
recognize those faces at all from
Yes,
the other guy.
the one who was still sitting when he died was the one who had stolen everyone's stuff,
okay.
presumably. The one who ran away, at least.
Then after I figured that out, I'll have gone in the room. But
Poor guy. Figured he was just a harmless street urchin or something.
So as you come in, you filled in about the crazy carving, the pedestal, the dog thing.
There's nothing else interesting about the walls.
Did you do your Arcana? Oh, the walls themselves? No, they look relatively
Okay, and I got an 8 on my check.
Arcana check.
Yeah.
As you approach to
Not very impressive.
check it, you go whoop, as your hands pass right through the wall.
Mm-hmm.
It still is there visually, but your hands go right through it.
What is causing this?
I don't know, but I think I've heard of these in legend. Illusion walls. I don't know much about magic.
How
but...
does this work?
I don't know, but...
I'm gonna like poke my head through.
So you poke your head through the wall, you see where the path lay. There actually, after a while, there is no path at all, and it goes into this large circular pit. However, all around it is stonework, and you can see on the far end is a second altar. So it's a big, basically circular room.
Oh. What does the altar look like?
It's a very, very plain. There aren't any ornate carvings or anything like that that you can tell from here. There's no statues or anything like that. It's just a big, like, raised pedestal.
It's an altar room, guys.
Is there anything else in this room?
In the room with the dog statue? Nope.
No, in the altar
You can't
room.
see because you didn't stick your head through the wall.
Oh, that's right. Well, I stick my hammer through the wall first to make sure it's clear.
So you stick your hammer
After you
through
just
the
watch
wall.
my head go through.
You do not pass through the wall.
No way.
I'm gonna try and stick my paw through again.
Your paw passes through without issue.
What? Put my hands on the wall.
It feels like stone. It's cold. It's damp. It's
What?
stone.
I'm gonna walk up and try as well now that this has piqued my interest.
As you approach, the wall is stoned, except for the passage. But yeah,
You have the
it's
gold
just
in
a
your
hole.
backpack? I'm gonna take out a gold
Hey,
piece.
hey!
Calm down.
These
Chuck
are
it
all of our gold.
in the dish, and then I'm gonna touch the wall again.
As you approach the wall this second time, you can now pass through the wall.
I'm gonna give him some gold.
This is ridiculous. Alright. Grab some gold, trot back to the dog, flank it down while I'm looking at the dog. Go back. Now I test the wall again.
As you go to test the wall a second time apprehensively, you pass through just fine.
Excellent.
Wow.
You are all capable of passing through this wall.
This is awesome.
How do you
Magic is an amazing
How
thing.
do you proceed?
Yes, proceed forth.
I'm gonna like very gingerly walk through the wall.
As you walk through, you look back at the empty room behind you as if there were never a wall there at all. And you can see that where the path was coming out, where if you had tried to walk through that little archway that was carved in, would have led straight to a pit.
Oh!
So, but having walked through the wall, you're now beside that pit.
Okay.
And you can see the room is fairly unordinary. But getting a little bit farther in, you can see that the altar was there, and there are some other things on there, some other semi-valuable things, very ornate. Some sort of a blade. There are some precious jewels and gold just on the altar, as well as on the back. You can see where there will be 2 doors. They don't appear to have handles, but they're clearly doors that have the hinges, just carved into and out of stone on either side of the altar, up several steps.
I'm gonna look for any sort of like inscriptions or like words or carvings or anything that I might be able to find to give me some clue about what's going on.
So you're continuing to walk up the steps.
I'm going to admire the jewels and treasure.
See those? Ooh, is this sort of waltzing over? What are you up to?
I'm just gonna kind of wander around, a little wary about this whole situation. So,
as opposed to some of the other rooms, this room is very clearly designed and built and manufactured, not just carved out of the walls. You've got stones actually worked, like nice big rectangular and square stones put in place to make this. It almost looks like a temple. In each corner, you've got these tall pillars. Of course, you have the pit in the middle, at the bottom of which, who knows. And on one end you have several steps leading up to the altar and those doors. As you're looking at the altar, looking for carvings, you notice that under the gold is a little bit of a pattern, and kind of moving it aside, you see that's the eye, just like the tattoos, right on top of this altar. Although it looks like it was probably carved in there later, since it's not very finely carved in. More of like a not quite high school crush carved into a tree, but almost.
Almost. It's not quite a heart.
Yeah. And you'll notice this as well as you're up there looking at the jewels. They're not incredibly valuable, but you're like, yeah, that's a gem. That'll work. They're not too big. They're like, yeah, it's like this big. Well, like crown jewels. They're like about that size. As you just kind of seeing all this stuff in the room, there doesn't appear to be any other passages or anything. Just those 2 doors up the steps by the altar.
So 2 doors.
Is that the only carving I can find? The only like written or art, design, anything?
Right.
Was there any weapons or armor in here?
No, it's a pretty barren room.
Okay, just a little bit of treasure.
I'm gonna like put a gold piece down on the altar, and then I'm gonna like go and investigate the doors.
As you set the gold piece down on the altar, clink, it clinks strangely loud, and you hear from behind one of the doors, "You call that an offering? What is this paltry sum?" As the door pushes open to a cleaner robed figure decked out in the traditional evil black and red. Sees you with a little bit of surprise.
I'm gonna like drop another gold piece down.
So, you wish to join the Eye?
No.
Well, no,
What other purpose do you have making offerings at our altar?
Yes, what are you doing?
I just wanted to see what would happen. Because the invisible wall.
Oh, yes, our friend.
I mean, that was really cool.
quite
How did you
good.
make that work?
Well, it was here long before us. We just repurposed it.
Oh, what is it? How does it work?
Very curious for someone who just stumbled upon what I'm sure you could surmised as a hidden temple.
Well, I mean, that's fine. What's it for?
But to keep
I'm
people
gonna, like,
out
slowly,
unless
like-
they give me money.
That's fair.
Wait, is that the only purpose? Why? Are you one of those recluses?
I am a priest.
Of what?
A bank?
Shorn. I am a high priest of Shorn.
Who's Shorn?
Let me tell you.
Okay.
Please come
I'm gonna,
take a
like-
seat.
I'm gonna like
Invites you
scamper
into
over.
Russell's stone door.
I like slide slowly, skeptically closer.
Yeah.
It's sketchy.
I'm gonna like sit in front of him and like wrap my tail around myself and start purring.
On the stairs or in the
No, I'm
door.
gonna go in.
So and it's a fairly modest housing situation.
Wait, you're going in the door?
Yeah.
I'm gonna
He
lean
said
on
he
the
was
door.
Yeah, I'm gonna
tell me.
I'm gonna be
kinda
peering
lean on
through the
door and
doorway.
just be like,
I'm like in the middle of his room, like ready. I'm set.
I'm peering through the doorway with my hammer like this.
The kid gets in the van.
So as you walk in, so to make this a little bit more official, since you've provided an offering, I suppose some sort of an offering.
I'm gonna hand him like another gold piece.
Do you require any services or blessings?
Well, what kind of services are blessed?
Well, I'm sure you've run into a few of my, we'll call them followers, I suppose.
They were kind of dumb.
Yes. But they're
Yeah,
very
okay,
good
yeah.
at being
Did
Yeah.
you care very much about your minions?
Not my minions, they were just stupid people who thought I
What are
deserved
they
to know.
following?
Okay, that's good.
Are you their god?
Oh, heavens no. Oh, right, I was telling you about Shore. We'll get to the blessings and whatnot later.
I still want to know what those are. Continue.
We'll get to it later, don't worry. Just leave the offering in the little bowl. He's got another little bowl in the corner of his
I'm gonna like put another gold piece in there.
The message of Shore is simple. Those who do his bidding or her bidding will be granted anything that they wish. I'm sure that you know magic like this exists, but is rarely afforded to mortals, not without at least a lifetime's worth of effort, which I simply don't have anymore. So, for whoever gathers the most followers every year, Shore chooses one of the faithful to, not just any one of the faithful. You have to be the best. You have to get the most followers and the highest offerings, and you will be granted one wish.
So you're
That
the
is
only
my
one
goal.
who gets anything?
I will be, as I will make up the most followers.
That doesn't sound very worthwhile. You can probably go get whatever you want on your own.
That's the good part. My wish can be for anything. So, if you join with me and become a follower of Shore
What's your
under my
wish?
stead, well, don't worry about my wish, but I can
No, what's your wish?
add in things for my followers as
I'm
well.
gonna like,
Unfathomable
I'm
wealth.
gonna like
You
lean in
think that
closer
offering was
and be like, "What's
was
your
anything?
wish?"
well? I wouldn't mind some money. A lot of money. All the money.
What's your wish?
All of the money.
What's your wish?
That's it.
Oh,
So is there an easy way out of here?
like that's it.
Well, I can't
You
exactly.
just want money?
What was it that brought you down here in the first place?
I was just curious.
Someone stole our money.
Right.
Your
Oh, yes,
followers,
that's true.
actually.
Well, they don't know any better.
Mm-hmm.
They bring offerings. I'm not going to refuse. I give them blessings. I don't ask questions about where they get their money.
But if you don't get anything from your god until you get the most money and offerings, how can you bless them?
Oh no, Shore gives blessings as well. It's just
What kind of blessing?
not as great as a wish. Here, I
What
will.
kind of blessing?
Well, we pray and he blesses the labor of our hands, and
That doesn't sound worth it.
well, it is if you're getting a wish. Become a priest of Shore. Get your own followers.
I'll tell you what. I've got
Wouldn't that just put us into competition?
Yeah, that wouldn't last very long. I mean, it'd be fine.
I'll tell you what, Mr.
Okay,
Priest.
well, you answered my questions. How do I get out?
Exactly the way you came.
Oh.
There's no faster way?
I mean, I
You
came
could go
down a
through the other
slide.
door, but
So.
you have to get your way through all the. Actually, I don't really know what's back there. It just always seemed.
You've never
Put
tried?
me off. I barred it up a long time ago.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. Since I'm in a sporting mood, if you don't resist, I'll just rob you blind and take all your jewels and treasure. And we'll forget about all
No,
this
a follower of
follower
Shore will.
nonsense.
It's in our code. We would die before we allow ourselves to be robbed blind.
You probably shouldn't say
You
that.
can be robbed while seeing. You can have your sight.
Yeah, we'll
I
leave
will
you your sight.
defend my gold to the end.
Right.
If I allow you to escape with it, Shore will kill me anyways.
All right, listen,
I'm
friend.
gonna like put one more gold piece in the bowl and I'll be like, it's okay.
I'm afraid.
fine.
We've already gone through a bunch of your followers already to get here at this
Why?
point. So.
I don't understand. Why
I'm
don't you
gonna, like-
want to be part of this? I could wish for
Because
more-
it
more
sounds
gold.
dumb. It's poorly thought out.
A wish? I could wish for enough gold to refill 10 times, 100 times what
What?
was stolen from you.
And what's that
It's
gonna
only
do
2
for
weeks
you?
away.
What's
Just
that gonna do
2
for you?
weeks.
What's 2 weeks away?
The wish.
Oh,
Shore's choosing.
well, good luck.
Yeah.
All right, it's hammer
we wish,
time.
We wish you well.
I really don't understand what all that much gold's gonna do
sure.
for you.
Cut me down. Let one of the other priests take it. Who knows what they'll do with it? I just want money.
I
Well,
mean,
that's great. Like,
that's
I just want
true.
your money. I really don't want to have to fight, but if you're gonna
I
resist,
think we picked up enough out of the fleet.
I say I have plenty. Let's just go.
I don't know. Looking around, does this guy have anything in his little hidey hole?
I mean, he hoards gold, but he clearly doesn't spend it.
Well, that's great. There's like,
Does he have any like interesting items or just?
He has some
Gold
some
and crap.
weird books, and there's like a scroll like pinned to the wall where you can see like the ink at the bottom is like moving.
Oh, what's that?
It's my contract with Shore.
Why
It
is it moving?
guarantees a wish. You see now that I have a guarantee. If I have the most
Why is it
followers, I get a
moving?
wish. Because
Can I
you're
look at
dealing
it?
with divine forces.
Can I look at it?
A little moving ink isn't anything special.
Can I look at it?
Yes.
I want to investigate it.
As long as you don't robbing me or killing me.
I want to investigate it and see if I can figure anything out about this cool moving ink. That's a 1.
You look at it and you're like, what? There's a lot of legal jargon in there. for,
Nope,
like,
that hurts my
a
brain.
contract.
I don't
Like, the
care.
ink at the bottom moves. It's like the signature is like alive.
I'm just like,
There are 2.
ooh.
And they're both alive.
Ooh.
Chasing me.
Priest, do you find dragons to be very mystical?
Dragons are a creature like many others. Yeah.
Well,
It's their share of lore, but I mean, it's just a creature.
just a creature. I tell you what, I have
Powerful creature,
these
but a
dice.
creature.
Dice carved from dragon bones. Been passed down from generation to generation in my family.
Ooh, those sound valuable.
Wonderful, wonderful dragon bones.
Very
I'll
curious.
tell you what, play a game of chance. If I get a higher roll than you, then I get to keep all your treasure. You don't give a fuss.
As a priest of Shore, I could not allow it. Even if I did, I would be killed. Shore
Alright,
would
fine.
strike me dead.
Wouldn't Shore, as your god, help you?
Not if I allowed his treasure, the offerings I'm collecting for him, to be squandered by.
But wouldn't this
Simple
be a
defeat.
chance for him to prove his mightiness?
He will
then he
prove
would
his
get more
mightiness
followers.
when I'm killed.
That's a fair point.
Alright, I feel like just knocking out this poor delusional chap.
I don't really feel like that's necessary. We should just go.
Alright, I'll walk out of the room and just start shoving my backpack full of gems and gold. They're lying
Okay,
about.
bye.
Walk out.
I'm gonna walk
I start
out.
grabbing it,
Yeah.
pulling it off. She bursts up. No, no, put it back. Why would you wish? I've done you no harm.
I mean,
Why are
he's
you doing
Your
right.
minions have.
Do you really need
They're not
those?
my
Yes.
minions, and you have your gold.
Why?
Because treasure is everything to dwarves.
No,
Treasure and good companionship, but
I
mostly
have none of your gold. It never came here. Those
I mean,
stupid
yeah,
urchins
I
never
technically-
figured out how to get past the dog.
I technically have it. What? Did you just call me a dog?
No, not
Oh.
you, the dog.
There's a dog?
The statue.
Oh.
I promise none of your gold made it here. You
Yeah.
cannot take any of the gold from this.
Technically, it's in my backpack. You should just leave it.
No, I want these gems.
Once gold
Real
is
bad.
once gold is here, I can't. No, put it back. Put it back.
All right, he looks like a pretty
I'm
weak.
just gonna start walking
He looks
away.
like a pretty. He looks like a pretty weak fellow, so I'm gonna give him a light backhand to the face to try to knock him out.
Oh my gosh! I don't feel right about this. This isn't okay. I'm gonna-
Two.
Can I try and like pickpocket the stuff that he's like as he's
You
like putting
can.
it in? Can I try and be
You
like?
can. You don't. You're like get off, and he's like, no.
I'm gonna try this again.
12.
All right,
A 12 to pickpocket.
22.
All. He's
I want to
stuffing
just like
into a
take it
bag.
out of his
You can
bag
get
and
some,
like.
but you can't. You can't get it all. He's putting it in there.
Can you stop? This makes me really uncomfortable.
Are you, wait,
I'm
are
not
you trying
okay
to like
with
take
this.
it from him?
No, I'm
From
just,
me?
I'm just trying to like take the stuff out of his bag as he's like putting it in and put it back.
And he looks. He goes, "Thank you. Thank you. You're saving my life."
Just look, yeah,
No.
there's stuff
It's
happening.
mine.
There's magic. Just put it back.
It's fine. I'll
Put
just
it
take it.
back.
I'll just take it. We'll be fine.
No, it's not gonna be fine. I'm like putting stuff back as you're taking it.
Are you doing anything?
Just
No.
watching the scene unfold.
I'm just like, we could.
He's like, "No, please, no. I have gold that hasn't touched the altar. I can give you that. Please, just leave."
Yeah, take that.
I'm walking down the
You're
steps.
fine with me taking some of his gold,
Take
but
the
not
stuff that
others?
he's offering. Just leave that.
All right, what are you offering?
It's in the anything in my room. It's you can't take anything off the altar.
Just put it back.
All right, let's see what's in your room. Go bring it over.
Put it back on the altar. Put it back.
I'm gonna like push him. Put it back.
If I abandon the fire
Alright,
before it's back, I'll be
fine.
killed.
Put it back on the altar.
I'm gonna try and like arrange it back in the powder that it was before.
As he goes back, he brings back his bowl that has. I mean, it's got some gold. It's like a cereal bowl full of gold.
There, take that. Let's go.
Superstitious
go,
cats.
go, go.
All right.
This is like, oh, thank you.
I'm gonna like go and put like another gold piece on the altar and like pat it.
We're gonna talk about the gold that you have already, because that needs to be divvied up between all of us.
Why?
Because it was everybody's gold that was taken.
How much did you have?
No, please just leave. If you're
No,
not
not just what I had.
Here,
You grabbed a
take
bunch of gold off
And he
that
grabs,
off that altar.
Well, you had a certain amount. How much did you have?
I had 10.
Oh, okay.
grab-
I'll give you 10
he
gold.
grabs
No,
a
you grabbed a bunch.
journal. Is
You
you
just
teach
shared.
It'll teach about Shore, but please, just read it. It's very clear that he made this himself.
All right, this lovely homemade pamphlet.
Alright, I wanna
It's a journal.
return back to the surface.
Here, leave. He goes, oh, and then please promise me you won't tell any of the other priests where I am.
Sure.
Don't worry, I don't think we're going to be telling anybody about this.
That's not gonna be a problem.
Shouting out, promise me!
I promise.
Okay.
Breach the stone wall. Go back. There's still a few gold pieces that you guys had put in there on your way in and all that.
Mm-hmm. So before we get to the surface, I feel like we should decide what to do with all this treasure.
I hand him 10 gold.
No, there's the treasure that I've collected
How
and
much
all the
did you
treasure
have?
that you collected.
I only need what I had when I came. 40 gold, please.
I'm gonna give him 40 gold.
Burn it.
So far I've gotten rid of 156 gold pieces. Out of what I grabbed out of the thing.
Meaning you took 100 something for yourself.
I don't know how much was there originally, I didn't count it. But that's how much I've given away now.
How much was my haul
Yeah.
from the...
Where did you give the rest away?
Yeah,
'Cause he
what-
had 40.
I put 100 in the thing,
Oh, yeah. That's
Oh, that's right.
and then
40, and
and then
just a few in
I
there.
did 6 in there.
Okay. Yeah, wow.
I've been keeping track.
Yeah.
A backpack full, though, would be probably 300 or 400 pieces.
Yeah, it's,
There was a lot.
Depending on the size of the backpack.
How much was
I had 100
How much was
and 10.
How much was my haul from
No, I had 100.
robbing that guy? Robbing the priest.
So as you count it up, you
Yep.
amounts. I mean, coins take up space in it's a bowl. There's about 75 gold pieces in there.
Yes.
How
Alright.
much,
Equivalents. I
I'm
mean,
filthy rich.
there's some gold. There's a couple of different jewels in there, and other valuable.
How much
pieces of
do I
jewelry.
have right now?
Give yourself a couple of fine
That's
rings
awesome.
and a couple of precious gems in there. How much
much
do you
gold
have
do I
left? You
have?
start counting out. Which is even friggin' in here. You're like, wow, I still have like 380 of these things left.
Okay.
I should have rolled, but I made it.
Okay. So can we go back up now?
And go back up.
Okay. I want to go back up.
Oh, hold on.
Retrace
There's
your
got to be more
steps.
gold than even that they stole the people at the bar.
Well,
That's
that's
like a
where
lot
I'm
of excess
going.
gold. I know, but that's like more gold than they even had up there. So that's like bonus treasure that we should divvy up.
Well, when we go up and figure out how much everybody had, then we'll do that afterwards.
Ah, goody two shoes. All right.
I
Fine.
mean,
We didn't
it
have
was
to tell them that we found any
it was
gold.
their
They wouldn't
stuff.
know.
It's just gold.
Oh my goodness!
You-
Clearly, cats do not appreciate
You exit
the value of gold.
room with the dog statue into there, and there's a body sitting on the table where you left it, and then keep going back down.
I'm going to sneakily take the 100 gold.
From the dog.
Yeah, from the dog. While the cat girl isn't looking.
Nothing seems to happen as you pocket some more
Shovel
gold.
it, yes.
A brave gamble.
Well, I mean, she already took
Shore's
all that
watching.
crap for
I already took it all off, so nothing happened.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
As you pass by, there's a body slumped over the table as you walk past and down the hallway.
Pity that poor fellow.
You see the blood stains where the other man died on the walls as you continue your way up, and eventually you finally make your way back to that cellar, and where there are a couple people just kind of sitting here watching. We hear noises.
Noises you don't say.
So,
Noises.
I need to know how much was stolen from each person.
We should probably go back upstairs for that. We're still in
You
like,
got
the
our
basement.
gold back.
Come on, let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
It's good news. It's gonna be great. It's run back up. they've rescued our gold, and then the celebratory cheering for the entrance as you re-emerge from the cellar steps and back up into the tavern. How do you do this? How are you gonna do this gold stuff, guys?
Everybody, single file line in front of me. Who was stolen from?
A bunch of hands pop
The
up.
entire house.
Single file line. Single file.
As some
Come
stagger
on,
into
this
line.
is not hard.
Their hands up still.
You're asking bar folk who got stolen from. They probably didn't come with anything.
But they've spent it all.
Oh, dear.
Meanwhile, in
Good
the
luck.
corner.
How many people are in here?
At this point, there's a lot, as there's been a huge commotion.
And so now
So it's
everybody's in
packed.
line. Oh my god.
It is packed.
Well,
It's
have
not really a
fun.
line anymore because the line doesn't have room to line. It's just a crowd and tables.
I'm gonna be like, well, I don't think we actually got all the money back.
As you see off the side, hey, guys, over here, jumping. You recognize the little hand of the bar.
I'm gonna like go over
Trying
to
to jump up to
him.
the crowd and like, guys, it's best behind the bar. Come.
Whoop, yep.
And so the crowd kind of lets you pass, kind of looking through your stuff. Roll perception. Just her.
Oh, just her. Okay. Are we following?
Are you?
I'm curious. I like the bar. I like the gnome bartender.
As you walk through, you just get bumps and people pushing you and all that stuff as you get up to the bar. And you notice that the barkeep is sitting on the side like, oh my, there are so very many people in here. Hold on a second. Let me see. He pulls himself up onto the stool and hops up onto the and says, all right, anyone who wasn't in here when the thief broke through, get out! And then a couple people in the back shuffle as he screams at a man, get out! You, out! Starts pointing at kicking people out, and you end up whittling it down to just about the 25-ish people. Probably missed a few people here and there, but makes it a little easier, hopefully, as you're now holed up behind this bar with a backpack full of gold.
Well, they don't know it's full of gold.
No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, probably.
And it
Well,
just
no,
has a
I'm
backpack.
holding on to it, so
I'm assuming by now that you have got.
I just said that we got some of their gold.
All right.
And then I stated, I don't think we got all of it.
So then a woman comes up to her. Did you get my gold? Look, it's a fancy little purse. It has these initials on it. It's purple with silver inlaid for the initials. Did you find it? Did you find my gold?
Well, I didn't find your purse, so I don't know if it's your gold. They kind of just lumped it all up in a
They?
bowl.
Who's they?
The guy who the thief had some friends.
Of course they did. They never worked alone.
Yeah. So
We put them all out of
Sad,
business.
sad story.
but they some of them had already like divvied up the money, and some of them got away. So I'm gonna like reach in and very like carefully pull out 100 gold so that it's not making like a ton of noise in there, and be like, this is all we got, and I'm gonna put it down on the table and be like, I don't know whose it is, but that's it. And I'm gonna like start trying to like
And the barkeep sees this and goes, whoa, and he runs across the bar. He grabs it. All right, we can just leave a bag of gold laying on the counter. Jeez. Who had what stolen will have to do the honor system.
as he's doing this, I'm gonna start like backing out of the bar. I want to leave.
As everyone's very enamored with the bag of gold, pushing into the bar. It's like, how many did you? Oh, is this? As the bartender sees you going out. Is this everything? Is this? Okay. Ooh.
So the cat can be sneaky after all.
No one's really interested in
Very
your departing. Their
sly.
bag of gold is sitting on the bar. What
Cool.
are you guys up to?
I wasn't any part of that.
You have your gold?
I'm good. So if she's leaving, I guess I'll follow her out.
I think I'll pay my tab, check some coins.
There you go.
A couple of people standing around the bar quickly, oh, snatch them off as they bounce. They haven't even stopped bouncing.
Anyways.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave.
As you exit the bar, he goes, thank you anyways. Oh. People are shouting for their gold. That's fine, I have 12. Tanus, no, you dirt poor, you get nothing.
I did not want to be involved
As
in
you
that.
exit the tavern, a few onlookers in the streets looking like, what's going on in there? Oh. Whew. And scene. We'll end today's session right there.
That was terrific.
Tune in next week.
All right. Well, I hope everyone, if anyone was watching it, was entertaining.
Oh, that's so much fun. I love it.
Is there a way to see like who, if anybody, is on the stream watching?
We can check. Who's watching the? Is it if anyone's still watching this shenanigans going on?
Oh,
let us know
are
you're
we
there.
still live?
Yeah, we're still live.
Oh, okay.
That's too
You're like getting up and doing
Well,
things.
there's a little delay,
There's
so I'm
10 seconds, roughly.
so I'm just gonna wait just a bit.
It says 2 viewers.
Ryan
which I
says
think is
That one and that. Yeah.
Click on you can click
And you
on the
promised
chat.
an NPC.
Yeah, if anyone followed during the
3.
time tonight,
Oh my god, there's somebody besides the Xbox.
if anyone's followed us, I'll contact them, and you get to build an NPC for the world, and our characters will get to meet that NPC at some point in time. So whoever ended up following, I'll shout out to you, and then once if we get collecting inertia here and get some steam going, we'll start doing some polls and stuff. You guys will get to vote on, like, if the city of Onyx Reach is holding a public election for some kind of an office or a political thing, when all the followers, all the subscribers, any of that are going to get to vote on that, and the result is the result of the election in the city and the game. And in that way, anyone who follows or subscribes essentially becomes an active citizen of the world that we're doing. So hopefully that'll be fun for everybody as we keep going. So again, we'll get in contact with everyone who followed during the show, and we'll see you at 7:30 next week. And we'll actually go at 7:30 instead of 8:45.
Because hopefully not everything will break.
Yeah, we had a couple of cable issues, a camera issue, a microphone issue, a problem with our soundboard,
And the computer needed
and then
to
my
be
computer reset itself. That was fun. Not doing bad, considering.
Yeah, all
So,
together. Yeah.
Eventually we played.
I'm just not going to ramble anymore and turn off the stream, so
Bye.
bye.